Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GameSpot lair, where round one in our greatest game villain competition has closed. Voting is finished. The 64 villains have been whittled down to a paltry 32. But before we go on to preview round two, let's talk about round 1B. Tom, the biggest blowout, who came out of round 1B the strongest?
The Pac-Man ghosts throttled Agent Ripburger. The villain of Full Throttle.
Yes.
He got a paltry 14% of the votes. He didn't show up too well.
Not a great showing.
He got devoured.
Huh?
There you go again.
All right, that was solid. I like that.
He got scared. He got spooked.
Not everyone can come as strong as the Pac-Man ghosts. There were two contests in round 1B that were super close, down to like a couple hundred votes out of tens of thousands deciding them. The first one, Sephiroth versus General Rom. The general pulls off what some might consider an upset.
This is the biggest upset. A lot of people had Sephiroth going the distance.
Yes, I had him in my final round.
There's a lot of similarities between these two. They both kill a pretty big character halfway through the adventure.
That's true, but Rom pulled it out. The other close contest, Team Rocket versus Revolver Ocelot. Now, Team Rocket has the popularity of Pokemon. Really, I guess they leveraged that to get him through. Folks, these were decided again by like hundreds of votes. So if in case you're doubting if your vote counts, it totally does. Now, speaking of voting, round two voting is underway right now, and there's some good matchups here. Tom and I are gonna take a look at a few of them, talk through these villains, and see what we have in store for you. First up, we've got the Joker versus Donkey Kong. The Joker, obviously the menace behind Batman Arkham Asylum. Really, you know, what I like best about the Joker is not so much his maniacal gadgets or his hideous penchant for mutilation. It's that he can get a coalition of other villains to work for him in pursuit of the single goal, torment and kill Batman.
And he's got a sense of humor.
That's true.
In the Mortal Kombat game he appears, one of his finishing moves is firing a gun that has a bang flag. So, you know, he's got a sense of humor.
Yeah, he's a playful guy.
Yes.
Donkey Kong has been more playful in recent games, but folks, you can't forget his dark, villainous, kidnapping, barrel-throwing roots. That's what got him into this round, and that's what might take him even further.
Not to mention Donkey Kong's sinister rap skills. Quote, his coconut gun can fire in spurts. If he shoots you, it's gonna hurt.
Wow.
Villainous.
That is villainy right there. The next matchup, we're gonna talk about two villains we didn't mention in the first round, but who nonetheless, their sinister exploits have gotten them into round two. It's Darth Malak and M. Bison. Now, M. Bison, of course, the sinister head of the Shadaloo organization, seen wearing a cape, a mark of a sinister fellow. Well, unless I suppose if you've got a big letter on it, then it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
it's a fine line, but he wears it on the evil side.
That's true, and he also, you know, stomps people's heads in. I guess that puts him on the evil side.
Worst thing he's ever done? He destroyed T-Hawk's homeland.
An entire homeland?
I guess.
That's not right, M. Bison. Darth Malak, of course, a Sith Dark Lord, and as villains go, the Sith are pretty high up there. They like to gain their power through the persecution of others, and leverage it for, you know, their own gain, their own sinister machinations. GLaDOS versus Darth Vader. An unlikely duo, but two fan favorites coming out of the first round. GLaDOS, of course, the genetic life form and disk operating system. Darth Vader, his name isn't a clever acronym, but he's still kind of a bad guy, am I right?
He's not a big fan of sand, I know that much.
Nor is he a big fan of Wookiees. Who can forget that awesome first level from Star Wars The Force Unleashed, where you just get to go ape on a bunch of Wookiees. I mean, you destroy their trees, for crying out loud.
He has the big three right there. He's got Wookiee side, Patricide, and Arbor side. That's villainous.
Done and done. Moving on to the next matchup, we're gonna see Team Rocket take on Dr. Breen. Team Rocket, of course, getting through the first round, scraping by. They're an evil corporation dedicated to leveraging Pokemon to controlling the entire world. Also, they're kind of snazzy dressers.
They have an awful motto.
Prepare for trouble, and
I'm not saying
damn it, McShay.
I'm not saying it.
Make it double. All right, Dr. Breen, of course, is the former administrator of the Black Mesa Research Facility.
Former evil administrator.
Yeah, we all know how that worked out. Not so good. But now he's, you know, the liaison to our alien overlords, which he creepily refers to as our benefactors.
Oof.
You don't like to see that
no.
in a liaison to overlords. Now on again to talk about the Pac-Man ghosts once more. Tom, the Pac-Man ghost better known as?
Clyde.
Yep.
Pinky. Blinky.
Yep.
Mindy Lou.
We'll go with Inky.
Inky.
Okay. That fearsome foursome lives to eat and avoid being eaten by Pac-Man, naturally, relentlessly pursuing him around tiny little mazes. Kerrigan, on the other hand, lives to dominate the galaxy through psychic powers and Zerg rushing.
Who would you be more scared of?
Like if I were to encounter them in a hallway?
Yes, without any kind of power pellets or tanks.
I would say the Pac-Man Ghost hallway navigation skills are formidable. But of course, Kerrigan, a force to be reckoned with, and has really gnarly spiky wing things. This whole freaky look going on. Would not want to see her come out of my closet at night. Our final matchup of the day, Heihachi Mishima versus the Master. Two folks we didn't talk about in the first round, but Tom, talk to us about them right now.
Heihachi?
Yeah.
He has thrown his son into a deep ravine and then into a volcano.
Both?
He's done both.
You would think one or the other would get the job done. But it's that kind of stick-to-itiveness that got him to the second round.
And each one is getting worse.
Getting subsequently worse.
It's getting deeper, it's getting hotter, it's getting more villainous.
He's dedicated, and don't count him out just because he qualifies for the senior citizen discount. Now the Master, of course, the villain from Fallout, he sort of started off as a normal dude, like so many villains, but then through some government virus infestation, turned into this horrible man-computer goo blob. Tell me that's not a horrifying image.
And the worst thing of all, he doesn't have to answer to anyone.
No, he doesn't. How will the megalomaniacal man goo blob fare against the sun-chucking senior citizen? Only your votes are gonna find out, folks. Hope your brackets are doing good so far. And Tom and I will be back at the end of round 2 to give you the breakdown and launch us into the Sweet 16.